Just like regular education has changed and evolved over the years as we get more knowledgeable about it, special education needs to evolve the same way. And as we find out that there's different ways and better ways to educate children with special needs, we need to start implementing those changes so that they can get the best education. Throughout this website, there's articles and there's a Prezi presentation and there's blogs, posts all about why inclusion is not always the right answer. Children who have special needs get into the classroom and sometimes they're forgotten about. Their goals and their objectives are not the same as the typical child. And since there's only one of them, their needs are forgotten as a teacher teaches this typical child. Also, sometimes when these children are included in the classrooms during the time of day is not the appropriate time of day. For example, if a child with Down syndrome is put into a classroom with their typical peers, and that classroom is doing math and math activities where they're quietly working by themselves or in small groups, the child with Down syndrome is going to be left out. So there has to be planning between the special needs teacher and the typical child's teacher as when the best time for children to be included if they're not included all day, so that they can get socialization in with their peers, as well as having some modeling and also getting some learning in while they're there. Sometimes classes are not teachers with regular teachers of typical children are not given the training that they need to teach a child with Down syndrome or a child with autism. An example of this would be when an autistic child's day is not the same and they start to panic. And the teacher says, well, I have a schedule on the wall, but the schedule is written and there's not a change that it's raining outside, so they will not be going outside that day. The autistic child needs that picture cue, and they may just not know it. And it's small changes, but they just don't know it all the time. So, children with special needs need to be put in classrooms that are developmentally appropriate for them so that they can learn new things and they can build on their knowledge. Their socialization needs to happen with typical children, but this can be done at other times during the day in normal settings. And it can also be part of the day where their children are playing in centers and the children can be included into their center at work. So, with all this being said, there's pros and cons to inclusion. However, inclusion is not the right way to go, and it's better for children with special needs to be taught in a classroom where their lessons are developmentally appropriate and they get their socialization with typical children in other ways. Thank you.